You got the audio on, Mike?
Reinier, over here. Yeah, let me turn this. Yeah, no problem. Yes. Before we get into your fight, how was the Canucks game the other day? We saw you there on the big screen. Did you? It was your first hockey game, is my understanding.
Yeah, it was very cool. I like how you guys here and in the States, you really make a show out of everything. It's very cool to be there. I like the violence a little bit. I didn't really care too much about the pucks being scored, but I like the checks and stuff. We didn't get a real fight, unfortunately, but was nice. Was nice to see.
So as far as this main event goes, it was supposed to be Anthony Hernandez, and then when he was out, there was some talk about Paulo Costa. How close was that fight to being made, in your opinion?
It was close. If he'd said yes, then we would be fighting now.
Okay, so you believe that he turned down the fight?
He came back with like I wanted to be 3 rounds. I wanted to be a catchweight, and we said okay, we'll move on. This is.
Yeah. Did that surprise you at all? That he was.
I'd imagine him to be chomping at the bit to fight me, but no.
Yeah, and was it just Paulo and Brendan as far as opponents, or was there anyone else that name that you heard of?
Yeah, we kind of basically just went down the list from whoever was available and came off a win. And the first one to say yes was Brandon, so I was very happy that he did.
And then Brendan was in here already. I guess you guys trained very briefly, maybe once, a while ago. Like, you must have been pretty familiar with Brendan before taking this fight.
Yeah, he has a lot of experience. I've seen all of his fights, of course, and I know a lot about him, but I don't really know him as a person. We've never really trained together.
Yeah. Who did you get to work with as far as training partners for this fight?
A lot of good guys at Killcliff, like endless good guys there. Was able to work with Robbie a lot. Robbie Lawler was very interesting because of the tips he gave me as a fellow southpaw. It's very, very good stuff. I've been doing a lot of rolling at Wagner Hochschuss, which was very cool as well. Got to train with him a lot, with his son. With Bushesha, did a lot of rounds with him. So, was good, cool.
Were there any training partners at Killcliff that didn't want to work with you, maybe out of friendship to Brendan, or you didn't run into that issue?
Nah, not really. Everybody hates the guy, so I don't know.
Why do you think they don't like him?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, gotcha.
It was, of course, like a little bit of a joke. In the beginning, when I took the fight, I said he might be here in a couple days joining us. But, I think everybody's professional. Everybody wanted to work with me. No issues. Only Henry stayed neutral and didn't want to come and coach this time, but the rest was all good.
The implications for this fight are pretty big. Do you think it's a positive sign that they haven't announced that Imavov's getting the shot and that they're going to wait to see what happens with this fight?
Yeah, Imavov's not getting the shot, so that's why they didn't announce it.
Fair enough. And then one other thing, kind of looking at the champ right now with Chimaev and how dominant he was. Not looking past Brendan, I'm the guy asking the question, but I'm sure you look at a fight with you and Chimaev. Just how do you feel like stylistically you match up against him?
Yeah, it'd be a very cool fight. I imagine very spectacular grappling exchanges. And his striking, we haven't seen it a lot in the UFC, but his striking is pretty cool too. He's decent boxing. He's been working with a boxing coach for a very long time, Olympic boxer. And the times we trained, I thought his boxing was very crisp as well. Be an amazing matchup. I think I have a lot to offer in that fight, in the grappling and in the striking. So hope we see it soon.
And just last one for me, were you surprised that Duplessis struggled so much with the takedowns, or does that speak more to just how great Chimaev is at his grappling?
Both, I think. Really surprised me. I didn't expect it to go this way at all. But if you look at Dricus' posture, he's always a bit bent, and that makes it a lot harder to get into a sprawl and defend well in takedown. So it makes sense there. But the most surprising thing for me was the amount of control that Khamzat had on the floor. It was crazy. I did not expect him to be that dominant at all.
Reinier right here.
Yeah.
It is mixed martial arts, but that having been said, you guys both have your black belts. Is this an area that you'd want to test Brendan in?
100%. I'm always going to see if I can choke a guy. Yeah.
Good stuff. And, we saw Ong La retire recently.
Yeah,
It was a big part
cool.
of your early career. And Brendan actually mentioned him as a reason why he's always wanted to fight you. He says he wants to avenge that loss. So, just if you can, just speak to like how big a part of your career was that kind of Ong Law rivalry?
Yeah, it was a big part of my career at the time, and it eventually led to me getting in contact with Henry and with the guys over at Killcliff. So it kind of put me in the place I'm training at now as well. It was the first time I really achieved something big in martial arts, you know what I mean? Getting the belt for the first time over there, and then getting the second belt as well. The first fight was very much what I imagined it to be as well, getting his back, choking him out in the first round. And nowadays, he's one of the main guys I work with. He's a very good coach, and it was very, very heartwarming to see him in his retirement fight. I don't think it's really his retirement fight, but to see him go out like that was amazing. To be honest, I was a bit worried when the fight got announced and when he was going into the fight. I think he trained like for the fight for like 3 weeks or whatever. It was very late that it came together, but it was so cool to see him like that, man. It was very cool.
And you mentioned retirements might not stick in MMA, of course, but we do see a lot of people as they get closer to their 40s or in their 40s in this sport, they wind up on the downside and they wind up retiring. Of course, it's just father time, but you're not the youngest yourself, and yet you seem
Don't tell anybody.
You seem to have a lot left in the tank. I mean, what do you attribute your success at this point of the game to?
One championship saved me by not giving me fights. Thank you, one championship.
One over here, Reinier.
Yeah.
Brendan Allen was here earlier today, and we were talking about your previous UFC fights, and he sort of discredited a lot of them. Robert Whittaker was old. Bo Nickel was too young in his career. Kevin Holland's over the hill. How do you feel when you hear people trying to discredit the quality of wins that you have in the UFC?
How do Rob Whittaker and Kevin Holland feel if he's disrespectful to him?
Not good, I imagine. You should take it up with them.
Yeah, he should take it up with them.
Hello? Okay. Hey, Reinier. How's it going?
What's up?
So the fight was originally meant to be you versus Fluffy Hernandez.
Yeah.
How do you feel, I guess, the different skill sets between Alan and Fluffy, given they're both grapplers? What do you see as the main difference as two different opponents?
Yeah, so was of course heartbreaking that the fight fell through, that he got hurt, because was very excited for the fight, and it would be a great dress rehearsal for Hamzat, I think Fluffy would have been. But I do hope and I do imagine that we get to rebook that fight soon enough. Like style-wise, they're kind of similar. Both of them box pretty well. Like in boxing range, they strike pretty well. I think Fluffy wrestles a bit better. Brandon's jiu-jitsu is a bit better, I think. They had a very close fight as well. I think the biggest difference is, and that's what showed in their fight as well, Brendan starts very well. His first round is always his best round, and then he tends to fade a little bit. And Fluffy starts a little slow, and he tends to build when the fight goes longer. So when it was still Fluffy, I was very focused on getting my cardio in and focused on that part of the fight. So there was a good base for this camp. And then when opponents changed, I was able to spend some more time on specific techniques for Brendan and recovery as a whole. So to be ready as I am for this fight.
Okay. And how, I guess, do you see the fight going on Saturday? Do you see it more staying on the feet, neither of you wanting to go to the floor? You mentioned Brendan has excellent jiu-jitsu.
Excellent is a big word, but I definitely want to see if I can get him to the floor as quickly as possible. I'm going to see if I can put a lot of pressure on him. He's going to come out guns blazing, I imagine, because he always does. I think he throws very nice boxing combinations in the pocket in boxing range, and I think maybe he might even shoot, but I think I'll be first to take him down.
Okay. Are we going to see those Dutch kickboxing knees again on Saturday night?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Also, so you seem very confident when you said Imavov is not getting the shot. Do you know something we don't, or are you just very confident you're going to do what you need to do on Saturday night to make sure you are undeniable for Khamzat's next opponent?
Both.
Okay. Just a couple more. You mentioned in an interview recently that DDP needs to improve his jiu-jitsu on the bottom. Is that something you feel that you're more equipped to deal with than him? You think your counter wrestling is better than him? Were you to face Khamzat, let's say sometime next year, if you win on Saturday night?
Yeah, I think so. Most importantly, Khamzat didn't get tired at all because he got the takedown, exploded for a couple seconds, got on top, and then was able to rest afterwards. So I think anybody who's going to beat Khamzat should be able to stop his takedowns at least for a while, so make him work harder to get a takedown. And then anybody who's going to beat Khamzat should have a very good guard so that he's not able to rest the moment they get to the floor or the moment he gets chest to back control. The guy who's going to beat him needs to be able to work there and needs to make him tired.
And just last question. After your win against Bo Nickel early this year, you called out Sean Strickland. Obviously, Sean is suspended until the end of November. Do you still see that fight as on the horizon at some point?
Yeah, it'd be very cool. Yeah, he had some personal issues going on, I believe, which prevented the fight. But yeah, I definitely see that fight happening someday soon.
Thanks, Reinier.
Reinier, over here.
Yep.
I want to put you on the spot a little bit, man. You mentioned the Dutch kickboxing there. Who would you say is the Dutch combat sports GOAT? You're making a case, you're getting up there, but right now, who would you say is the guy?
We have so many great champions through the years. Bas Rutten. But one of the guys I like a lot, I like his style a lot, and I've worked with a lot, is Gegard Mousasi. I love, if you look back at some of the fights he's had, they've been so good, so cool. It's just a shame that he didn't stick around long enough to get to the UFC title, because I think he would have. Yeah.
And would he be an inspiration for you or some other guys maybe that come to mind specifically?
More names, more other guys?
Yeah.
Yesterday I said Stefan Struve because he was in the room, but Alistair is one of those. You know, if you think back of Alistair versus what's the wrestler's name again? Brock Lesnar. That's the craziest fight ever, man. Just roided to the tits, both of them. So cool. With that knee as well. Yeah, we have so many good guys. Even before, like in K1 back in the day, Sam Schild. The list is almost endless. So yeah, I'm very proud to be representing my country. I'm not switching to Canada this time. Yeah, hopefully I'll be part of a new wave as well, because at the moment I'm the only Dutch guy in the UFC. Yusri is joining us, and I hope we'll have a lot more of those Dutch guys coming in soon.
Well, last one on that note. What do you think you need to do to be the number one, surpass everybody we just mentioned?
Get a belt.
All right.
Yeah.
Keep betting. Keep betting.
Yep.
Just a quick one. From me, you said that you're not into ice hockey. Recently, you told me that you don't care about football at all. I mean, soccer.
Yeah.
So is there any sport you care about in the terms of watching and enjoying?
No, I've watched some documentaries on American football on Netflix before the last fight. That was cool. It looks cool. It's very violent, and with the documentary, there was not a lot of breaks, which is nice. So you can just see the action, and I learned a little bit about what the quarterback does and stuff. That was pretty cool. But if you love fighting, nothing compares, right? Even there, sitting at the NHL game, I don't care if the puck goes in the net. I want to see these guys fight. That's way cooler, right? It's way cooler than anything else. It's always, even I like basketball. I like all this stuff to watch, but it doesn't really get close to fighting anytime, I think.
It's a job, anyway. fighting is a job anyway. Yeah.
A job? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Got it? Yeah. You got it, Mike?